Hello, hi, my name is Morgan Russell. I am CEO of Russell Marketing, and we are going global. Our first stop is Mumbai, and we are excited. I totally understand you might be a little bit nervous, a little bit hesitant going into this move. So I've got 3 questions we're going to answer today, and I'm also happy to answer the questions at any other time. Our first questions, or the first thing we're going to talk about is social customs, greetings, big no-nos, language, things of that nature. We're going to talk about daily life, clothing, food, family structure, and then we're going to end with politics, political patterns. So an overview of politics, current issues, and then politics in the workplace. First, we are going, so social customs. Hindi is the preferred language spoken. While English is spoken a little bit, Hindi is what is most widely accepted. So those of you going, get ready for some Hindi classes. The caste system, I know you may be a little worried about it, but don't worry, it is no longer the social norm. So yeah, we don't have to worry about that much. And then most importantly, everything is really family centered. Businesses are family run and family owned. What that means to us is that it's going to be a little bit trickier to get in with the families as they tend to hire from within their own family and kind of keep it pretty tight knit. So your left hand, what is a big no-no is your left hand is considered very unclean. It's unclean because that's what you traditionally used to clean yourself with, to blow your nose and to clean your ears. So when receiving gifts, either receive it with just your right hand or both hands. And then handling food, eating, anything, all done with your right hand. Don't touch anybody with your left hand. If you do, just apologize immediately. It happens, things happen. With the left hand, and kind of on that same token, your feet are considered even more unclean, with your shoes being the uncleanest. So try to wear sandals that you can easily slip off when you go into anybody's home or into a place of worship. Do not touch anybody with your feet, and be really, really aware of where your feet are pointing. Try not to point your feet at anybody or the soles of your feet at anybody or any religious artifacts. If you do inadvertently point your feet at somebody, touch somebody's foot, or step on somebody's belongings, just apologize immediately and sincerely. When greeting, the American wave is actually considered offensive. It is as if you were saying go away or no to the person receiving it. What is best to do is clasp your hands in front of your chest, slightly bow, and say namaste. Being introduced by a third party is considered very respectful. So anytime you can, have somebody else introduce you. And then on that same note, when you are shaking hands with everybody, kind of read the room. If women and men are shaking hands, great, go for it. If they aren't, just refrain from it. And then a woman is always to shake your hand first. Clothing. So it's important to be modest and clean at all times. So leave your crop tops and your ripped jeans at home. It is also absolutely respectable and respectful to wear saris and dhotis for the men. Is a sign of respect for the culture. And then suits for business relations are totally acceptable. The most important thing when it comes to food is that you are to never possess beef or eat beef. You can get 5 years in jail for this. Cows are considered sacred. And a fun thing to do, just a little fun fact, is if you want to go celebrate the cow, you can go to Gopsmi. It's a yearly festival of the cows where cows are washed, decorated, celebrated, and given gifts in the temple. Family structure. Families are patriarchal in nature. You'll see arranged marriages. Hindu is the most, the widest, the most common. That's the word I was looking for. The most common religion in India. You will find it's not uncommon for you to find 3 or 4 generations living under one roof. Males are taught to be independent, assertive, less tolerant, while women are taught to be a little bit more docile, altruistic, religious, and then put family above all else. All right, politics. So the structure of the politics is a parliamentary democracy with a bicameral federal parliament. That is a mouthful. What that basically means is your parliament split into 2. So the Rajya Sabina, that's the state capital of the state. And then you have the Lok Sabha, the Lok Sabha, which is the House of the People. The Prime Minister is elected by the Lok, where the President is elected by Electoral College, and he serves for 5 years. Current Prime Minister is Modi, while the current President is Kovind. There is Kovind, there is Modi, and there they are shaking hands. So a current issue in politics right now, a big deal actually, is that Modi is, he's self-proclaimed fear-inspiring avenger. Basically, he wants to be incredibly harsh on terrorism attacks, but people are a little bit up in arms because he just appointed a woman to council who was accused of orchestrating a bombing that killed 6 Muslims recently. So there is some tension. Be aware of that, and be aware of that when you're talking in the workplace. It is best just to keep your opinions to yourself. If you are in a discussion, try to just remain neutral and excuse yourself. It can be considered incredibly offensive to argue or disagree. So, in conclusion, don't wave, say namaste. Be aware of what the opposite sex are doing around you and follow suit with that. Don't use your left hand, don't touch anybody with your left hand, and make sure you remove your shoes. That's very important. Keep your clothing modest. Go get you a sari or a dhoti, or don't, and just keep it modest and clean. Don't touch, don't possess beef. That is incredibly important. And then make sure we respect the patriarchal family. Excuse me, a little tripped up there. And then last but we do not talk politics at work. But most importantly, ask questions. The Indian culture is incredibly accommodating, and they are more concerned about you asking than offending. So ask instead of offend. And if you do offend or do something that could be seen as offensive, just apologize immediately, incredibly sincerely, and all should be fine. Last but not least, thank you, employees of Russell Marketing. We couldn't be doing this without you. I'm so excited to see where all this goes. And here are the sources from today's presentation. Thank you so much. Please come to me with any questions.